Thank you so much again, everybody. And otherwise, let's talk about moons, baby. Nicole, how was that for you? And what do we need to share with the people about the moon signs?
Okay, moon signs. So, as we did this, now you want to look at your own moon sign if you don't know it, and there are different elements, right? So there is air, water, fire, and am I forgetting it? Earth. So air, water, fire, and earth are the four elements that you
Nailed it.
moon sign in.
Yes.
So, with that being said, every moon sign represents its own relationship with your mom, and you can see either the good and bad of what that can be. For example, I have an air moon. It's a very mental connection with my mom that also was very detached because Aquarius is that energy. So even and talking about mothers and moving into this, yes, we are all re-parenting ourselves, but specifically from the mom standpoint, not the daddy standpoint, if that makes sense. We're not really giving ourselves structures right now. We're not really supposed to be hard on our lessons on whether we're doing the best or not. Moms in that way are more forgiving. So it's a very forgiving energy that we need to like allow ourselves to forgive each other and everyone else. So when you look at your moon sign, if you have a air moon as myself, then it is your duty to speak life into the people around you that you love and into yourself every day. Your words are powerful. Your breath is your spirit, is your soul. And to remind people that the way that they talk can also be revised and changed and get better. And tell people what it is that they're trying to say when they don't have the words. If you have a moon in fire sign, which is, okay, and a moon in air sign is Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini, if any of those are your moon sign. If you have a moon in fire, which is Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, you have to start your adventure. You can't hold back. You have to begin, and you have to use your energy in a way that is on display because you are the magic. And as much as all of that passion and fire that you have, it's nothing if you don't embrace it yourself, which can hurt in the beginning because it is fire. But if you have a soul, which is your moon sign, your soul, if you have a soul in fire, you are literally here to be the light and to actually burn yourself and to get destroyed in the process of that, but then be rebirthed. Okay.
Amy's still here? LOL. Okay, keep going.
This is so true.
Are you dying? Amy,
I'm writing this down. Like,
Amy, what up? Okay. Hey. Also, if you have now moon in water, so moon in water, like I talked a little bit yesterday as well. It's about the sitting and it's about the feeling, but it's also about the release. More importantly, it's not just feeling and holding and harboring, because if you only keep it inside of you, then once again, like air sign, like it's our job to speak for everyone. It's your job in a lot of ways to feel for the collective at this time, and most importantly yourself. The way that if you have a water moon, if you want to really understand your own depths and you really want to tap into your own intuition, because water moon is very powerful, it's the most psychic we can probably run into. And if you want to really calm those waters of your soul, you have to let the waves like crash on the beach, so to speak, and you have to let the emotions pass through you when they come to you. If you have a moon in earth, if you have a moon in earth, you are the foundation. You are what everyone needs. Oh, wait. You are the foundation, and yes, you have to be almost quiet. And funny to say, with Sarah always like shutting her own self up, it's not that, like Sarah has Capricorn moon, right? So if you have moon in Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus, that means is you're the biggest anchor to your community, the people around you, and your own self. So you have to be unshakingly unnerved, and in your non-reaction, where fire and water have to react, in your non-reaction is the strength and the power that you actually give to other people to make them feel solid as well. Because a lot of people don't, and we need the Capricorn moon, the Virgo moon, the Taurus moon to really anchor it in for the rest of our chaotic asses, because we're fucking crazy. So if you have any of these, and in general, now examine your relationship with your mom. With that being said, after we wrote this and we're moving forward for these next 2 weeks before we look at that again, that was a great exercise. Thank you, Lucia.
Fuck yeah.
Thank you, Brava, I believe.
Talia Brava. I love you, Talia Brava.
Well, yeah, so contemplate for the next 2 weeks while we're still in Cancer season, the season of the mom, the season of nurturing, and think about how your element of your moon has shaped a little bit of that relationship with your mom, and forgive your mom. Like, really forgive your mom. And by forgiving your mom, you can do it in person, you can do it in your head, you can do it in your mind. Keep your element in tune with that. If you're an air sign, maybe yes, go tell them, have that conversation, speak it into existence. If you have, the water moon, then create a space where you get to feel and show them your feelings, even if it is just sending them like a crying selfie. I don't know.
I think we do know. I think we are sending cry selfies. Okay.
Send it to your mom. See what happens.
Oh, actually, I did send to my mom at the beginning of coronavirus. Well, like sort of actually like maybe like 40 days in, she actually bought a ticket to go to Florida. And my father was like, she's like a family terrorist. Like we'll never be able to see her again, whatever. And then I freaked out because I was just like, look, even if I don't necessarily take it that seriously, if we live with someone who's taking it that seriously, then we need to take it that seriously, right? So I literally sent her fucking snotty ass cry selfie, and it worked. And then she called me to her room. We held hands in the dark and in bed, and she's like, "You're my best friend," and I was like, "You're my best friend." But like we have I have a Moon Mars conjunction, so my Moon and my Mars, which is my fight, my aggression, but also my work, trust me, she has high testosterone, and this is the product. That's a Moon Mars conjunction in Capricorn, I would say, is like a good way to put it. So that's just our relationship. But ultimately, she is the backbone of the family. She is my backbone, and she's why I have even this, like so many of the opportunities in my life have been because of her supporting me, even if she's like totally fucking. I know we're not even, I got to think of better vocabulary. We're not going to say mean words anymore. I don't want to say retarded, but it's like, even though like, she's definitely like, there's like definitely screws that are loose, like way off. Like sometimes, but she's an Aquarius sun, Gemini moon, Leo rising with a Pluto on the ascendant. So she sort of is meant to be this like chaotic, like force. And actually I realize now that so much of my learning how to function and operate and support my family was like, it's funny, Lucia, in the retreat, we were like, I was noticing the difference between us and our moms, because the minute you were like, you guys cannot speak for the next whatever hours, I knew that I had to go inside because I was dealing with like a remedial student, and that's why I have so much space for people. I had to be like, did you understand the instructions? Yeah. And it's not the same as like it's like, I know, it's not like I'm judging her, whatever, but it's like, I just know her brain. And so like, I am willing to do more to try to, it's like, I forgive her for being, an idiot.
Well, it really does be like that.
It really does. It's just like, and you know what? The moon actually works as a way for us to connect and communicate. So I love that. Does anybody have any questions about their moon sign or about how to work with the moon cycle? Feel free to unmute yourself or put it in the chat. And then we can talk a little. Go ahead.
Like looking at the comments, yeah, like what Jessica was saying, yeah, because we are doing the healing work now, even for the air sign moon specifically, because you said that air, right? You really just telepathic. You don't have to really talk to your mom.
That's what I told her today too. She's a Libra moon, and she now has her ascendant is now. She now has like her sun is on the ascendant in Aquarius with her Venus at like 29 degrees on the ascendant.
Amazing.
You can be telepathic. Don't talk to anybody ever again.
Like really, if you're an air sign moon and you have a unhealed mom, you should ask them to give you something, or ask them to give you what you need telepathically, and then open the space for that and see what happens. Because that sometimes, especially with the older gen that has been way more programmed than us, our moms, our parents, like it really is Like, they need to be broken in their mind again because they were already broken from what they learned.
Totally.
So it's not really a smooth ride or a nice, comforting process, but that's a part of mothering too. Other than being the
Kind of
comfort.
like, I just want to throw out there, it's like when you, like if you do Weight Watchers,
Mhm.
but you can't stand Weight Watchers forever.
Yeah, no.
It's weird that you mentioned that because I just remembered the last time I did a workshop with my mom, she brought me to Weight Watchers with her when I was like a child and I was like thin.
No.
Yes, and
Oh my God, you've
I was
always
thinking,
been
I want
so
to tell
little.
Sarah at some point about that. Anyway, sorry, that's weird.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So funny. I love when that happens. Group mind.
So yeah, and then lastly, if you have a fire moon, light a candle for your mom, light a candle and talk into the fire. Because the thing with fire sign moons is that you're so strong, depending on what moon sign your mom is, or depending on what they are, or who they are. You can come off just too intense for their needs. So do it to yourself as well. If you have the what was left, Earth sign moon, yes, Earth sign moon, just ask them to talk to you. Ask them to talk to you.
That's so real.
Let them talk, just like basically how you're saying, and just let them talk and let them go on and just like absorb it. With that being said, keep in mind that we are healing our moms as much as we're healing ourselves, and we're doing it while we're healing ourselves. And we're doing it for our kids if we don't have kids, or the ones that we do have. They feel it too. So none of the work goes unnoticed. And tonight too, just like how we're talking to the moon to change our own dimensions and jump to where we want to get closer to. But also talk to the moon tonight as if it was your mom that you were talking to. Your mom from a parallel world. Your mom from the parallel life, the one that gave you everything you wanted, the one that supported you the way you wanted, the one that hugged you, the one that, fed you, took you on trips, whatever it is that you were missing that you didn't get. Speak to your mom from that parallel world and ask for them to come in and assist you and watch what happens around you after that. I promise you magic is real. I promise.
Hell yeah. So I know it's about 10 o'clock. We're going to do a sound bowl we'll do a sound bowl and then I was going to play a song. So Nicole, does anybody have any questions about the current astrology, or Nicole, is there anything else you want to say about the current astrology?
The current astrology, other than us stepping into these new timelines for ourselves and kind of going back in time to restart, which is funny that I mentioned that, and now we've looked at the astro for when they signed this, which is too funny. But so now that we're stepping into it,
oh my God, wait, sorry.
Now that we're stepping into it, we are stepping into it in a way that we have to be mindful about how open we are and how sensitive we are. So as much as we are very sensitive creatures, the sensitive culture that has formed from this old constitution that we're now leaving behind is that baby version of the US that we keep talking about. Mm-hmm. And we're all growing. So we need to take the next step in our maturation and actually address people with, yes, our own sensitivities and be vulnerable about that, but to not take every single thing personal. A mom can't take their kids personal when their kids say they hate them or they hate their cooking or whatever. And if you're a mom that takes it personal, it takes a toll. So we have to realize that everyone comes from whatever perspective they're in, and it's not attached to us unless we want it to be. If we take things personally, we actually accept the attack. We're accepting the fact that we've been attacked. So once again, think about the US as a baby child, and every time it pisses you off, just forgive it in your own right. It doesn't even have to be publicly, but forgive it for that and aid its growth, because we are seeing our whole nation, not just the world, everything else, but our nation too, kind of evolve and take on this next level of its own life that it has created for itself. So treat it like a child. Treat everybody like a child that doesn't know what you're talking about and doesn't know the facts. And don't attack them, but hear them out and remember that we're all doing healing together for real. Like we really are. So when we're doing it for the other side of the world as well. The other side of the world been doing it for us. And we need to actually see that now and step forward into this. But we are stepping forward into it. Have a great time. Have a great night.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay, so